Hello beautiful bookish people, my name is Hannah and today I kind of just wanted to film a chill video about books. So what we're going to do is kind of go through a little highlight reel of what I've read so far this year. We're going to have some high notes, some low notes, some notes that are off key, and yeah, I just wanted to sit down and chill for a video and talk about books. So what we're going to do is start with my least favorite book I've read so far and then build my way up so that we can end on a positive note. So probably my most disappointing book so far this year has been White as Silence and Red as Song. This is marketed as the French Fault in Our Stars, and it's about this guy named Leo who falls in love with this girl who has leukemia. But with that, he kind of doesn't see that his own best friend is falling in love with him. And the thing I didn't like about this book is very much the characters. And when I say characters, I mean Leo, our main dude. He's very much like a Holden Caulfield, and if you know me, I'm very much a character person. If I don't like the characters, I'm probably not going to end up liking your book. See, he does change from front to back, but not enough for me to like him. It's like the book. It has potential, but that's it, just potential. And Leo, he's kind of whiny and kind of good for nothing. I didn't enjoy reading from his perspective. I picked this up because I thought it would kind of be like the Astonishing Color of After and play with like colors and all that stuff. And the first page is very much like that. It's very beautiful, but it just set me up for disappointment. 'Cause you had a bad day, you take it one down. And I thought it was just gonna play with like words and what it means with colors and all that stuff, but it didn't end up doing as much as I would have wanted like that. And because I didn't like the characters, there's this one scene that Leo visits Beatrice, who's in the hospital with leukemia, and she's just asleep, and he just kind of brushes or nuzzles her cheek. And I'm sure if I had liked him, this would have been fine, but because I didn't, I was like, can we not? Anywho, yeah, I didn't really like it. To be fair, I didn't really like The Fault in Our Stars too much, so I don't know why I would like the Italian version of it. So the next book I gave 3 stars, and that was The Hating Game by Sally Thorn. And this is about 2 people who are up for the same job in an office at a publishing house, which was really cool. That was actually one of my favorite parts of this book, was it was set in a publishing house. And they follow each other as they kind of play tricks on each other and taunt each other, and we all know that there's a fine line between love and hate. So it follows them as they eventually fall in love. I mean, it's a spoiler. What do you expect with this kind of book? The thing that kind of bothered me is like there was these like little descriptions that felt really out of place. There was like serial killer eyes. He looked at me with serial killer eyes, or there was this one line that it was like I had slit wrist red lipstick, and that really bothered me because like sure, that kind of description can work in like Fight Club or anything like that, but not like a chick lit book that's fluff. It just really is put like a bad taste in my mouth essentially. But to be fair, I read this in 2 days. It's really fun, it's really easy to read, and I do feel like the conclusion is kind of fast, but I guess I'm really picky with romance. And to tell you the truth, I'm not the biggest fan of hate to love trope, but if you are, I'm sure you would really like this. It was really fun, really fluffy. It got my heart beating. There were some scenes where I was like, I love it. Just sometimes Josh annoyed me. And so next I want to talk about the top 3 books that I've read this year, and the first one being The Unbeatable Squirrel Girl by Shannon and Dean Hill. My friend Maris on BookTube recommended me this book with this hilarious Booksgiving video. I'll link it down in the description. Sometimes I just watch it when I'm having a bad day. I think it's so funny, and so is Maris. She's great. So Squirrel Girl is kind of the origins of the Marvel character Squirrel Girl, and we follow Doreen Green, who's moving from New Jersey, trying to like figure out friends and different relationships and her superpowers, and handles so many topics like friendship, bullying, and like how to just be a positive person. And I love Doreen. She's just like a beacon of hope. I loved her. I like want to be her. Like someday I just want to like read my kids this book because I thought it was so good and it handles so many topics that I think are important for kids to read about. Also, there's like these hilarious footnotes. Let's see if I can find one where like Doreen will like narrate her own story or explain something, and I was like, oh, that's such a cool way to introduce footnotes to kids. Yeah, I'm just really happy. I really liked this book. So next I read a play for school, and I read Antigone by Sophocles, and I had read oh shoot, what was the other one? I read the Rex one in high school, and I'm kind of bitter about how my teacher didn't make us read Antigone instead of the Rex one, because I think Antigone is way more interesting than Rex. So it's about this girl and her two brothers fought against and with the country, and when they die, one gets an honorable death and the other one is kind of just forced to not have a burial. And so her sister, Antigone, is like, I'm not having this dishonor on my brother. And so she sneakily buries her brother against the king's will, and it's all about the power dynamics of pride and how things have different principles, and it's so good. I understand everything. Antigone, like, I feel like everyone should read Antigone. I think it's so good. It handles so many topics in such a cool way in a different language. I feel like Antigone is like Sophocles is answering a question, how bad can one day go? Because like stuff goes down. I feel like I want to like write so many essays about it, and if I want to write an essay about a play or a book, I know it's good. So my favorite book that I've read this year is Squirrel Girl by Claire Legrand. This I read for a book club. Thanks, Rhiannon. Love you. And it had such an interesting discussion. And I read it a little early than the book club, so I found myself like talking about it with a lot of my friends, which usually doesn't happen. But I had like these themes like stuck in my head, thinking about like, how does this work and how does this correlate with this? And it felt so structured in that sense of like these little things. Like Zoe, her favorite book is A Wrinkle in Time, and that has like a critical part in the plot, so it's not just like a thing for her character, it's a thing that the author thought about she can incorporate into the plot, and it's not just a character device but also something to work into the plot. Anywho, I liked this book. What I'm saying is, when I finished this book, I found myself discussing with it with a lot of my friends, trying to like divulge the themes and what it was trying to talk about, which I think is really important. If a book can bring out discussion and the desire to want to analyze it, then I think you're doing something right. Have I said what it's about? I don't think so. So Squirrel Girls follows these three girls on the island of Squirrel, where girls are going missing for centuries. And Zoe is our black asexual protagonist. Marion is our plus size bi rep, and then Zoe is just like the, I want to say like the high school mean girl, but with an amazing backstory, and you grow to love her. And Claire Legrand is really good at writing like spooky, eerie scenes, and so it follows these three girls as they all come together to take down a literal monster and the monsters of ourselves. You know, it's really good. I really enjoyed it. So anywho, that concludes the video and me just talking about some of the favorite and least favorite books that I read so far this year, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Keep reading and all that jazz. The top, love that. Who run the world? Squirrels. We run this, mother. Antigone was amazing, and I'm trying to like think of like how I can do a skit around it, but I don't know. We'll figure it out. It's on my idea list. Who run the world? Squirrels. We run this, mother. Love